Oh. Base.
10 females to each male.
Coca-Cola machine.
Fluids.
The Doomsday Machine.
Blast off!
Where's my shorts?
Where's the bathroom?
Buck, should I get it?
On the hotline.
Dr. Strangelove.
Or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and
Love the bomb. A moving picture.
I shouldn't tell you this, Mandrake, but you're a good officer and you have a right to know. It looks like we're in a shooting war.
Hell. All the Russians involved, sir?
Well, boys, I reckon this is it. Nuclear combat toe-to-toe with the Ruskies.
I don't like the look of this, Fred. I tell you what you better do, old buddy.
I was under the impression that I was the only one in authority to order the use of nuclear weapons.
That's right, sir. You are the only person authorized to do so. And although I hate to judge before all the facts are in, it's beginning to look like General Ripper exceeded his authority.
I first became aware of it, Mandrake, during the physical act of love.
Missile still deflecting. Range 1 mile. Start lever to cut off. Cut off. Engine power.
Has that plane really got a chance of getting through?
Well, sir, if the pilot's good, see, I mean, if he's really sharp, he can barrel that baby in so low. I mean, you ought to see it sometime. It's a sight. A big plane like a 52. Vroom! It's jet exhaust frying chickens in the barnyard.
Dr. Strangelove.
or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and
Love the bomb. A moving picture.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hey, Nom.
High five.
High five.
High five.
No.
No
Why did I give
high
into that? No.
You said high five.
No, you said if... You know, they both sound like me, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho.
Phone calls are very mysterious with people.
Exactly. With that being said, you have chosen for your 1960 movie, which the movie came out in 1964, Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah.
Why so?
So I think it's funny because even the beginning of this conversation is the way this trailer was presented. I have no idea what's going on, but the trailer kind of presented itself weird. And the reason why I picked this movie is because cartoons led me to this.
Cartoons? What do you mean?
Yeah, because Looney Tunes, The Simpsons, a lot of them used the reference of a guy riding a missile bomb into the ground, like riding it like yeehaw and then blowing up. This is the movie that it came from, and I always wanted to know why do people use that reference a lot. Like Bugs Bunny has done it, Homer Simpson from The Simpsons have done it. I think Family Guy has done it before. There's a lot of old school cartoons that use a lot of the reference from that movie into their stuff, and they're like very secret. You know what I mean? Like Looney Tunes use a lot of pop culture reference into their stuff in that era, and that was one of them. And so, especially from the Bugs Bunnies, to Daffy Duck to all that.
I got you. I don't know why when you say riding a rocket or something like that, I sit there and think to myself, "Want to catch a ride?"
Yeah, exactly.
From Borderlands 2.
Exactly.
There's very little that I've heard about this movie, except for I heard it was a pretty solid movie.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard it's definitely a cult following. This is a definitely cult following, and I think people rev to it because it was a movie that was it maybe is so out there that you're just entertained by it.
Yeah. I wonder, and it's I don't really know much about it. I know I watched a couple clips with on Watch Mojo, on YouTube, Watch Mojo, and I think there was a scene at the very end where, I think the guy in the wheelchair, which I don't know.
That's Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, that Dr. Strangelove. Okay, so Dr. Strangelove does some improvising. And one of the guys in the background was corpsing, is what we say. The guy that was just laughing, just because he couldn't hold it in. So
yeah,
I can't wait to kind of see that scene. But there is a lot of references from Dr. Strangelove, and I do hear about it a lot. So I am excited about seeing the movie. One with that being said, that, and then it's also the fact that it's also a 1964 movie, which I know we watched Ocean's 11, which is a 1960 movie. So it gives me a chance to kind of compare, the two acting styles. And I know the feel is going to be completely different, but just the acting style and kind of how they present themselves. So,
right.
So I can give a fairer assessment to Ocean's 11.
I think the other thing that got me was someone I was hanging out with said a line, and I didn't know this would connect to Dr. Strangelove, but one of the lines he said, I think it was a group of us were arguing about something. And he said, "Hey, there's no arguing in the war room." And that was the funniest line I ever heard in my life at that time. And I didn't know it came from this movie. So that drew my curiosity too.
Gotcha. Was that from your old podcast, The Gamer Stand?
No, this was back in high school.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I was thinking it was your Gamer Stand.
No, this was something. It's funny because when I did do the war room, there was an image I wanted to use from Dr. Strangelove, but that line was not referenced to that idea.
Okay.
And so, but you want to talk about how we feel about the trailer?
Yeah. I guess I can start it off.
Okay.
After watching the trailer, I still have no idea what it's about. I can kind of guess. I'd imagine that it has something to do with a war, and that they're trying to blow up a city or a silo or something like that from somewhere that's really difficult to get into. That's about the gist of it.
The video feels like one of those old school videos, like if you were born in the 20s and your teacher bros that TV into the thing, and you got that presenter coming in, it's like, this is how you brush your teeth, you do this and this and this, as a black and white, you got that guy nice. That kind of felt like this, but it felt like they were going back and forth because the movie's called Dr. Strangelove, but on top of that it's called And How to Disarm How to Love the Bombers, I think it's called. And I think that's what they were trying to show that, and that's what that was supposed to be presented as. It's like, here's a information video. And then it just goes into blinking everything. Everything was just cuts with noises of them spelling out stuff to you.
Yeah.
Trying
to keep up with it.
Right.
Like a parody or a satire.
And in the music, doom 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 doom, that noise was supposed to present that felt like the old 1940s production kind of old school videos.
Yeah, what's interesting is there's a Stanley Kubrick movie, so I'm kind of curious to see definitely if there's any of his old trademarks that you'll see in that particular movie that kind of carried on with some of the other movies that he's got later on. But I mean, the trailer itself was pretty much everything that you described, and just weird.
It is.
I don't know what to expect. I want to see it. I'm excited to see it. But I have no idea what it is.
I think this movie alone, that trailer was more acceptable at that time because that was during the time where movies can be very newish, and experimental, so it works for that era. But now, our generation, it's like, is this interest me at all?
Yeah.
Does this movie interest you, the weirdness that they done it? It does pique my interest because it's like, I'm curious to find out what it is because the trailer makes it so freaking weird.
Well, that, and it's just, you're just not quite sure what kind of movie that you're about to walk into, because I feel like it's a comedy.
It's supposed to be a comedy, yeah.
Oh, it is a comedy?
Yeah, it's a comedy, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure, because I felt like walking into the movie itself that it's a comedy because it doesn't seem like it's trying to take itself too serious.
A guy is riding a bomb, falling from the plane with a cowboy hat on. I don't. That right there was to be like, oh, this is supposed to be funny.
Like Machete.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that was reference to that. See, I think Machete should have that.
Maybe Machete, the old B-rated movies and stuff like that they do the drive-in theaters and whatnot. But no, I'm really excited to see it.
For people, this is our first black and white one we're going to be watching together.
Yeah, technically speaking, because Ocean's 11 was actually supposed to be black and white, but it was remastered. So when I saw Dr. Strangelove and it was black and white, I was kind of thrown off. But then, like in my mind, I was like, I remembered it was supposed to be black and white, the Ocean's movie, but just remastered in color. This is the one that we happen to see.
So that would be a nice discussion later on if we want to talk about would this movie look better in color or would this movie look better in black and white still. Maybe that's something to think about later on.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about it once we get done watching it.
Yeah.
I think the black and white makes it stylish. I think it works. I don't see it being in color, to be honest with you. Just straight on right now. Just the feel of it. I definitely think Oceans needed to be in color.
Okay.
Definitely, just because the way they're trying to be slick and everything, I think it's better with the color.
Well, let's go see if we're gonna love this bomb or not.
Yeah, so we'll get back with you guys, talk about the movie after the commercial break.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to this episode as part of the In-Game Boss program, a network of gaming and other variety shows. And remember, you can find all these shows on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. All you have to do is just follow and subscribe and enjoy all our other variety shows, like the In-Game Boss podcast, When Jeremy Met Nom and Finally Do a Movie podcast, Bond Never Dies, In the Cabinet Sessions. So thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of the show.
And welcome back to When Jeremy Met Nom. Do a weird podcast, a movie podcast. And we had just got finished watching Dr. Strangelove, a political dark comedy satire from 1964. With that being said, first time that you and I got a chance to see this movie, so I'm kind of curious, what is your impressions?
Dark comedies are tough. Like, in general, like, you have to come in. Actually, to tell you the truth, I don't know why I didn't put dark comedy in my mind when I watched this movie.
Yeah.
I was just kind of weirded out, like, what is going on right now? And, like, I came off not getting it at first to the second part of, like, kind of getting it.
Are you a dark comedy guy? Because I know you're not so. It didn't seem like you're so much.
I'm in the middle. I'm not I'm not like super deep into it.
Yeah.
But like, I pick and choose. But maybe because this one's a little bit older, maybe I might be missing some certain key elements to it and everything like that. If the dark comedy is funny enough, I'll get it. But you know, dark comedy is mostly towards around like death. Most of the time, per se.
It's just dark humor.
Humor and all that stuff. It just took me a second to understand what is going on because I never watched a political black comedy.
Something a little bit more political.
Yeah, I never watched that kind of style.
Yeah.
So, but overall, what I thought, just watching it, it was interesting how long it took to finally get there. Because at first, when they called Dr. Strangelove, I'm like, it was like, where is he in all this whole thing? And then when he finally came, I was like, okay, now we're gonna see where everybody's doing now. Everybody's finally here at this party. So what is everybody doing? And I came off confused, but still entertained because the cast members were still kind of entertaining in their own way. So
that's how you felt about it. You know, I always joke about when it comes to dark humor or dark
comedies
that there's no such thing as horror movies. There's just dark
comedies. Yeah.
Which is still true today, in my opinion. I think they've done a better job with the horror movie movie genre, just because I think they're a little bit more psychological nowadays. This movie was actually pretty interesting because, just like you, it's you know, I didn't really know what to expect going in to watch this movie. I wasn't quite sure whether it was a movie that I would be into. Because, you know, there's some movies that you see, you're just like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm interested. I heard nothing but good things. And the good things are deservingly so. But, yeah, it took me a minute just to kind of get to know the characters a little bit more. But it took me a minute because the movie really wasn't about Dr. Strangelove, which you kind of expected.
Yeah.
That you would have more of an element to Dr. Strangelove, which you don't see him until I believe like midway through the movie.
And he only gets 2 scenes.
Yeah, you only get to see him in a handful of scenes where he talks about the Doomsday device, where he talks about pretty much the possibility that the Doomsday device is there. The next, I think, towards the end, where he talks about how to survive after the bomb has gone off.
Yeah.
So I think it was interesting for me. Like I think on my notes when I was sitting there writing down, I wrote it as like kind of dry humor, dry comedy, because I felt that was the way that it was. I think all the actors and actresses, mostly actors, did really well in their roles, because I felt that I believed every single bit of like how they acted. I thought it was really kind of cool and funny that at the very beginning, like I went into this movie not looking at the IMDb, seeing who did what and what, because I just wanted to kind of go in blind. Right. And like halfway through the movie, I was like, oh my God, that's James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's James Earl Jones? It's like, does he sound like him? It's like, I don't know if he sounds like him, but there's just the mannerisms, right? They're just there. And of course we looked it up. I looked it up to see James Earl Jones Wikipedia, and then I saw that he was on there. But towards the end of the movie, we got finished watching it, and we wanted to look at the IMDb. And I tell you what, Peter Sellers, I did not know that he played 3 different characters.
He was
in that movie.
phenomenal.
Yeah. The fact that he played 3 different characters, and I didn't notice at all.
And they even put 2 and 2 together and say, hey, he kind of reminds me of this guy or this guy. No, all completely different.
Yeah,
Didn't know.
Yeah, because he played Captain Mandrake, the British guy. He played the president, and he also played Dr. Strangelove. So I give him props to Sellers, because I completely bought into all 3 characters without question.
I did like the fact that the movie made you think about what do you do if you can't stop something that is out of your hands, and how would you deal with it if the bad comes. So that was very interesting, because it made me think, like, I don't know what I would do in that kind of situation. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what to do in that situation, but like
where there's really a almost a no-win situation, a very slim chance to
So like,
succeed.
what do you do to deal with that? And then I also came off learning how a protocol works in that aspect. That was interesting.
I like how they played the protocol.
Yeah,
the protocol scene. I think that part was filmed wonderfully, and just the conversations that they had with it. I found it funny that they were just like, it's Command R, or it's like Mission R, and they all had to sit there and look at the documents that it was like Mission R that we had to strike, R that we had to do, and then they had to read through it and all on the planes and whatnot. And it was just like, so you have to imagine that that was just one plane. They had to be doing this on all like 32, 34 different planes that they had. So I was just like, wow, really? That's kind of funny. And I like the way they had the conversation. Like the conversations themselves were engaging. I felt that you had to listen to find out what was going on, right? My favorite conversations.
I know.
My favorite conversations, just in general, was the phone, right?
Yes, the phone calls were
It's
awesome.
a one-sided phone call. It's so beautiful because they do it so well, like the actors do it so well, that you are so in tune with what is seen on your screen, and you laugh, and you are like, I can definitely understand. I can only imagine what the Dmitry, the drunken
Russian, basically.
Yeah, the drunken Russian was saying throughout the entire thing. And I think that was the part of that made it so great, right? Because nowadays, whenever you watch films, you hear what's on the other side. You get the entire conversation. But the cool thing about it is that they did that in this movie, and you just imagined. You could only imagine the situation. You're just like, hey, so we're gonna bomb you, but we don't mean to. And if you're on the other side, you're just like, you're what?
right. Because like it makes you really, like I said, like this movie really makes you think about like, how would I come across that phone? How would I do it? How do I do this? And then you find out like there's 4. Well, I'm giving you everything. I don't know what to do, man. I'm telling you everything I can do. What else do you want me to do?
Yeah.
No, I'm not mad. I mean, it's so interesting.
I was like, I'm really sad. Just I'm sadder than you. Why are you saying that I'm not sadder than you? I can be just as sad. or however that conversation went.
Right.
It was just amazing. The next, I think, the General Jack D. Ripper, the guy at the very beginning, which I think you pointed it out in the trailer. You were just like, his name is Jack D. Ripper.
Yeah,
like Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
I was like, that's funny because that is kind of true in the sense of what's going on in the situation. I think that character was really cool because he played it really kind of just off the hinges, but very cold and collected off the hinges.
Right, because it was interesting. He was a character where he says that I don't want to leave it to the politicians to deal with this situation. Sometimes the people that been in the war should make the decisions, kind of per se.
Yeah, the army, which is funny, because it resonates just as much now in 2019 as it does back in like the 1960s during the Cold War. So it definitely passes the time bit when it comes to that.
But we can't leave off without talking about Terkeson, Buck, basically. Buck really had his signature at the beginning when he was trying to explain to the president about how the scenario worked and tell him like, I think there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah. He was really trying to convince, like, I don't think there's nothing we can do. I think we're just going to have to think about what we're going to do next. But but the president was just getting so upset. Like, you knew this and you didn't care to share this stuff?
Yeah, it was like, Buck was by far the no man. Like, no. Like, everything is no.
Yeah.
But I think what sets up Buck was the very beginning scene when you meet Buck and Miss Scott.
Yes.
And just... Buck's like, I don't want to go to the phone. So Miss Scott is just translating. It's just like, So attack R is coming down. It's just like, well, you should call Jack D. Ripper. Yeah, yeah. Jack D. Ripper can't be reached right now. It's like, that's bull. That's bull.
Even when he
should call this.
Even he had a mid-conversation during the hectic to tell his girl, like, look, no, I love you. Yeah. You're gonna have my name. You're gonna take my name when this is all over.
It's like legitimately like a good 10-minute conversation with this girl on the phone, which is absolutely crazy, right?
And kudos to everybody in that room that didn't get a line. Except for the ambassador, that hold their composure through some of those scenes, because I don't know how the heck you can be silent for that long. Because there were some long dialogue scenes.
Yeah, that was a couple of things that I didn't like that I wanted to point out, and that was one of them. Was like, I couldn't imagine that we would stay like there would be that many people in a war room and not speak their own mind. I don't see that being a possibility. Then next there's the one where everybody was on the phone where I was just like, I swore I thought Buck was going to say something.
Yeah, me too.
I thought Buck was just going to be like, you're Russian, da 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 da.
He has so many faces that he wants to say something.
Yeah. And I thought he did well. The next, the other part of the movie that I didn't quite relate to was whenever the U.S. was fighting the U.S., right? So when they were in base and they were trying to protect each other in base, like the U.S. was attacking them, trying to get to Jack D. Ripper. And I know they don't have communications, and I know that one group believes that the other group is wearing surplus items, but you would think after a while, though, that there was it's like, oh, we're fighting the U.S., we're fighting our own people. Why are we fighting our own people? And then just kind of the ignorance of the guy that ended up getting into the room with Mandrake and Jack the Ripper, who was dead. I felt that he wouldn't have been by himself.
No,
there's no way he would have been by himself. That entire conversation would not have had like the way that happened. He wouldn't have been by himself. I mean, those are minor things.
Yeah. I hated the fact that was slowly put into the background. You know what I mean? Like, Like, that didn't matter anymore, apparently.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it felt like it just sped up to, we're here now, you're coming with us.
Yeah. In a character like Strangelove, just in general, like, you saw how unique Strangelove was. So for him to sit there at the table just quiet, like throughout the entire time and not kind of assessing the situation, then just kind of shooting out his opinion, I don't see that happening. Like, I feel that Strangelove would have said something.
It would have been better if, as soon as Buck came and did the conversation, you hear some people say this, some people that. They can even have one-liners, just saying, I disagree, no, you're wrong, all this. And then we have Strangelove just come out of nowhere, then pan the camera at him on this wheelchair, then rolling out, and having a perfect intro for him instead of just like, well, here's Dr. Strangelove to talk about the Doomsday, and he's like, hey.
Hey. Well, and I don't know why the Jack the Ripper's men, like, you know, what are they threw the white flag up.
Oh yeah, surrender.
They surrendered. Thank you. For whatever reason, I couldn't think of what it was. They surrendered.
I
didn't
honestly
quite understood why.
I really thought that the colonel was going to shoot them all down.
Oh.
Before killing himself, I was like, no one can leave here. I thought he was just going to shoot. I thought he was saying, he's one of those, like, if you're out, I'm going to kill you.
Jack the Ripper?
Yeah, I thought he was going to just
go all
go AWOL. Like, if
go
you...
ham.
Yeah, but that didn't happen.
No, that didn't happen. So we have 3 categories that we drew. First category is... if we were to rate this as our cookies, or like our favorite cookies from least favorite to favorite, what cookie would we rate it as?
I give it an Oreo.
An Oreo cookie. So where's an Oreo cookie fall into your
because the middle of it was where it got interesting.
Okay.
And then it kind of slowed down at the beginning, like the beginning and the end.
Oh, okay. I didn't think about it in that as I was just thinking about like your best or your favorite cookie and your worst cookie and which one you would think like somewhere falls in between. So
I could do that too.
No. I was just talking about my own way of interpreting that.
You could do it any way you want. When I say cookie, it's just whatever you think basically the cookie is.
So I was bouncing between oatmeal raisin, and cookie dough, like chocolate chip cookie dough.
Okay.
Which is probably both of them probably about my second favorite.
Okay.
Second favorite. I think it was really good. I think you enjoy the flavor all the way through. Wasn't fully cooked, like a soft, hot and warm cookie.
Yeah.
But it was good nonetheless.
And I guess that's the way I rate the.
It's unique. It's different.
Yeah, that's why I rate kind of like an Oreo. You know, like the middle like was the best part of that film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, Oreos is in my top 10. I think it'll be like a number 6 for me.
No,
like a number 6. So yeah,
I can.
Yeah,
get
but
that.
oatmeal raisin, huh?
Well,
oatmeal raisin is like it's like one of my most hated cookies.
I love oatmeal raisin cookies whenever it's like soft. I don't really like hard cookies. Anything hard cookie, I really am not a big fan of. Like maybe like ginger snaps or something like that.
Okay.
Hard cookie wise.
Okay.
I'd probably give it more of a raw cookie dough though. It's not like fully cooked, warm, moist, warm and like gooey, but it's like nice and good. It's still nice and good.
But you can't eat too much of it.
Yeah, you can't eat too much of it. Better if animated.
You know what? I really thought hard about this.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to say yes, only because my mind set up to Akira.
Yeah.
Just for that, because it feels like Akira director Akira, I forgot his name, could do that. But I think it'd be really boring as an animation because it's just all dialogue and not a lot of stuff going on. So I'm gonna say a no on this one.
You're gonna say a no?
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be better as animated. I can see it as an animated.
I don't think it would change anything.
I think it'd be very noirish.
Mm-hmm.
I like the black and white. In a weird way for us to watch it in black and white, it already kind of seems animated to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could probably go a little bit more. I think they'd be a little bit more detailed in thought processes. Mm-hmm. Like you can kind of have that comic book feel, kind of like you can kind of have that comic book feel and just like thought process, especially Buck's, because I would like to see what goes around in Buck's head and also even in Jack the Ripper's head, and things that you couldn't necessarily see.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Okay.
See in live action movies.
Have you seen The Iron Giant?
I don't remember the.
You know the animation?
Yes.
Take the giant out, That's the animation I would like to see.
Oh, okay.
The Strangelove.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel. I think I would go with I keep the black and white. I think that the black and white definitely works.
Yeah.
That movie in itself doesn't do color. I don't.
No,
think
because the black and white really shows that more intense moments during the heated discussions they have.
Yeah.
I don't think color would be too relaxed.
I think color would make it a different movie.
It would be.
Personally. The last one is to insert a scene. So throughout the entire movie, if you were to insert a scene, what would you insert? How would you insert it? What would be said?
I have two.
Okay.
I would insert an extra scene with Dr. Strangelove.
Mm-hmm.
Just him going on another rant about something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be, but I think one more scene with Dr. Strangelove would have been enough to fulfill my craving for him.
Yeah.
And then the other an additional scene I would like to see. Actually, I would have loved to see what Russia would
how they react.
Yeah, but don't ever show Dmitri.
Yeah.
Just show, maybe show his hand, do the Dr. Claw method or something why he hangs up the phone and then everybody in NASA, we just see what they're going through at the same time.
Gotcha.
Just that one thing. It don't have to be long, just to show the last conversation they had before the bomb, click.
Uh-huh.
And then he says, "We shall pray" or something. I don't know. I just feel like that it would have been cool to see what their point of view for just a second would have been.
Just a second. All right.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all. I like both of those choices. Those are pretty cool. So mine was actually really kind of odd. Just dumb.
Okay.
Definitely would change the outlook of the movie. So I think it would be interesting to be one of the 3 planes that got shot down.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is you go into a whole nother plane, a whole nother crew, and you see somebody. There's one person that just cracks under pressure.
Okay,
I feel that one person cracks under pressure and they couldn't get it because there was that scene where they were talking about the missile that was flying. It was 60 feet.
Yeah.
40 feet, 50 feet. And I feel that they could do one where the crew is just saying it's we need to make evasive maneuvers. I was all right, let's make evasive maneuvers to the left. All right, we're going to make evasive maneuvers to the left. All right, hit the first safety button. And the dude's which one's the first safety button? It's what do you mean you don't know what the first safety button? All of them are labeled first safety. It's I was you don't have to yell at me. I'll hit the first
safety. I feel that's a scene that you would be in, you and I would be in.
Yeah.
Which button is which? Jeremy, it's all safety. Just press the switch. Don't yell at me.
It says first safety on the cap. That's the reason why you're here. It's I am under pressure. And then all of a sudden just blow up.
Right.
Because it was pretty obvious when it comes to the plane scenes where it's hit the first safe button, check the detonation emergency hatch, and everything tells you exactly what it is. It's right there.
I did like how they kind of changed it up with where Kong brought the cowboy hat on. So, get ready, boys. So I was like, oh gosh, what is gonna happen now?
Oh my god! And he's just wee.
Well, it's funny because everybody looked super professional, and then he comes with his country accent, all right, boys. I was like, oh, okay.
I will admit though, I felt that him falling down from the sky with the cowboy hat was about 5 seconds too long.
I'll give you that.
I was just die already.
Right.
Or say something can I catch a ride?
Right. No, that would have been awesome.
Or something like that.
He didn't even say yeehaw.
Right.
That would have been awesome.
It's something from Texas. It's no bigger in Texas.
Right.
All right. So Rotten Tomatoes gives Dr. Love probably his highest rating that I've seen so far. A 99% critic rating.
Holy crap.
By 77 reviews. And the next, of course, the user rating of over 200,000 reviews being 94%.
Are you surprised, though? I'm a little surprised that it's 94. I thought maybe an 80 when I went there.
Oh, you thought so?
I didn't think it was... Okay, look. The average crowd... every movie we've seen a high and a medium low. I never seen just too high close enough. They're they're 5% off.
Yeah.
That's and his audience from an old movie.
Yeah.
So you're getting a group of this year and further back.
Yeah.
That's insane.
No, I give you that. It's probably one of our higher rating ones to 99, 94.
No, good for this movie.
Yeah, because I think a couple. Was it when we did Get Out and when we did Big? I think they were close, but they weren't this high.
Yeah. So now What are you going to go with? The critic of the audience?
I'm going to lean towards the audience. So this one,
okay.
I'm going to give it a 94. The only reason why I'm going to give it a 94 is because it is not by far to me a perfect movie.
Okay.
It's not.
Would
that
you
it's
say
not,
a 94, or would you
is,
go a little lower?
I would go a little higher.
Oh, you go higher 94.
Yeah, I like the movie.
Okay.
I think 94, 95 is about where it's
Okay.
at, but it's by far not perfect.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it's perfect enough for me to sit there and go, yeah, 99. And the other thing about the 99 aspect of things too is that I just don't see myself really watching it again. It's a good movie, and I recommend it to everyone. But it seems like a one-time movie to me. It's not a rewatchable to me.
I think it's because it's so unique. That's the reason why it's the 99. No one to this day has ever mimicked that movie.
A political satire that's
it's just that's what made it so incredible. I guess that's where the 99 with critics are at that time. I'm a 94 too, only because it was a little rough at the beginning to get started, and then the ending kind of took a little bit, kind of went kind of sideways a little bit. It was kind of awkward. But if you, like, I'll tell for people, if you stay around for 20 minutes, you're going to get a damn good middle. Yeah. Like a good 45, 50 minute of like this awesome, like hilarious dialogue, what to do in situation. So I'm with the audience.
I'm definitely with the audience. It's weird, right? Because we're talking about a 99 overall, so it's really tough because I know that you and I probably leaned, was it critics 97, 97 on both Big and on
and then we
had Get Out.
And then and then we had our split with the movie with the funeral. No, not the funeral, but Night Shift. Remember, I went 92.
Yeah, you went.
You went 66, I believe. I think it was 62, 66 or something like that.
Something along that lines. So it's hard because you have to say that this movie was better. Like, you felt that this movie was just better than those movies that you rated high. And I like the movie. I just don't think it's better than those two movies that you rated higher.
They're not.
I know we're going to run into a conundrum where we're just like, it's going to happen, but I just don't think this.
Yeah, but no, kudos for a 1964 movie. For an idea that a story like that was made in the 60s. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, which to me, this movie by far better than Ocean's 11, the 1960 version, as far as like the acting and the way it was filmed.
Dude, Peter Sellers should have been an Ocean.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
He's the guy that sold me that 94 also.
Yeah,
Peter killed it.
To me, I think they were better acted, better directed, better story, better everything else in place. That I wondered whether or not the special effects would really bother me from Ocean's 11. But no, the special effects that I had over here was convincing.
So let me ask you one more question before we head out. Do you think the trailer that we watch match how we felt about that movie? Like, did the trailer match that idea? Like, okay, this is a movie of its own.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it does.
Okay.
I also think that because I think the trailer was, you watched it and you were just kind of like, I don't really know what to expect out of this. I know it's kind of a comedy, a satire, but I think after watching the movie, it just kind of hit exactly what you were thinking. It's a comedy, it's a satire. But you're still not 100% sure exactly what you walked out of.
Exactly, and that's how I felt when I was watching it. I was like, I don't know what's going on yet.
Yeah, exactly. But no, definitely 94. Definitely what must go see. Definitely recommend it to everybody out there. Jeremy, tell us where people can find us.
Well, if you like Dr. Strangelove, then thank you so much for listening to this episode. But remember, we're part of the In-Game Boss program, a network of gaming and other variety shows. And we have a lot of shows you can listen to on our network on YouTube, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. So make sure you type in the In-Game Boss program, and you can find all these lovely shows on everything. If you want to see our show just particularly on YouTube, you'll probably just type in when Jerry met Nom, and it'll fill in the rest for you because it's too long to say. And remember, you can always catch us on Twitter and Facebook if you want to contact us. Personally, you can find me on Twitter as RetroAmp07.
And you can find me on the Twitter, the Twitch, and the Instagram at the KNTran.
And then also, you can always leave a comment. Leave a comment, say, did you like Dr. Strangelove? Did you not like Strangelove? Do you like 60 movies? Do you like black and white movies? you can always leave a comment down below on YouTube. Just tell us if we're doing good, we're doing bad. But what we want you is just, show your support, download the show, spread the word to people, come listen to us, two moviegoers, just like watching movies and talk about them.
We're just normal people.
Right.
We want you guys on our episodes too.
Hungry eyes. Okay. And so, but yeah, we will definitely, catch you on our next episode.
Yes, please download, but you don't have to listen.
Yes.
Jeremy, I got a plan.
What?
I can walk.